Greetings, Internet Sojourners. This is the Democracy, and I got to experience the Monsters and Memories playtest on Sunday, November 19th, 2023. They had the servers up for several hours, and man, they have made serious improvements. So, one of my biggest critiques on the last playtest impressions video that I had was that the game was very much unplayable due to the lag. Now, we didn't see numbers quite as high as that last playtest, not that I saw. I think they were at around 360 was the max that I saw. I could be wrong. I wasn't checking all the time. And the first playtest that I was in on the week prior hit about 450 players, but still, the game played 1,000 times better. I was able to actually get into a group with other players, and actually enjoy it and experience the combat more like what I think it'll be when the game actually releases. So yeah, I died about 5 times. I got from level 2 to level 3. I explored the dungeon, Tomb of the Last Wormsbane, and I've got a good story about that here in a minute. And one funny thing that I noticed was that all the doors that I came across were locked this time. I'm not going to claim credit for it. That was something I pointed out in my last video, was that every door that I came across was open and there was nothing inside, and then suddenly on the next playtest all the doors were locked. Hopefully the doors get unlocked one day as they add more shops and NPCs to these areas. So the positive is that the lag was a lot better. Something that still I think needs some tweaking or some improvement is let us get some graphics options. Even if it's just view distance, turning shadows on or off, I think that would help a lot with the performance. I wasn't the only one that was having some performance issues. Now I recognize my computer is not the best, okay? But it was really struggling with the OBS up, trying to stream it, and then having the game actually running. So if I was able to even just draw the view distance down a little bit, maybe turn off some shadows or some of that dynamic lighting just to get it up for the performance's sake, that would be so awesome. And we'll see. I'm going to look forward to that in future updates. But man, they made those tweaks to the netcode in like record time. I mean, we're talking what, 1 week between playtests, and they got in there and made such a huge improvement. I think Niche World Cults deserves an award for that. I'm very much looking forward to the next playtest on December 9th. That's going to go for a whole weekend, and I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of improvements they make between now and then. So let's talk about one very special thing that happened during this playtest. I got to experience that MMO magic immersive moment. So I was running around Night Harbor, and I was looking for the dungeon, Tomb of the Last Wormbane. And I was just trying to do it on my own. I was just exploring and looking and thinking maybe this dungeon is inside the city somewhere. Well, after about an hour of looking, I noticed a player saying that he was LFG for that dungeon, so I asked him if he knew where it was, and he gave me very specific directions on how to get there. Around that same time, I actually ran into another player just wandering around the streets, and we ended up grouping up. So he and I headed out there, and then we ran into another player who was LFG, and all three of us headed into the tomb, and then we got our butts kicked. So there was a lot of people in there, and we didn't realize that there was supposed to be a lot of monsters spawning between the entrance and the point that we made it to. Then when we needed to run out, all those monsters had respawned, and we died. Everybody was being good sports. Everybody stuck around until we all got our bodies, and then we headed back out. One of the players decided he needed to make a new class, and then I never heard from him again. And then me and the other player ended up grouping up outside, and like I said, I got from level 2 to level 3. The MMO magic moment happened when a player named Tannhauser gave me very specific directions on how to get to this dungeon. And I realized the only time you're truly going to have that mysterious feeling of this giant world and so many different places to explore that nobody knows anything about is during something like this playtest. When the game launches, there's probably going to be a wiki, and there's going to be guides, and there's going to be all this information out there about the game. You'll be able to just pull it up on Google and go, where is the Tomb of the Last Wormbane? But during this playtest, everybody's trying to figure this stuff out for themselves, and there's no real wiki or guide out there to tell people what to do or where to go. If you guys are like me, you've been trying to replicate that feeling that you had when you first logged into EverQuest or you first logged into World of Warcraft and you had no idea where to go, you had no idea what to do, and the world just seems so massive. And they basically just hand you the keys to the car and say, it's up to you. Go do whatever you want to do. So I thought it was really awesome whenever I had to basically follow somebody's directions through a tell, through a whisper to get to this dungeon. And who knows what else is out there to find, and who knows what else is out there to explore. So if you want to experience that magic too, I highly recommend you get in on one of these playtests. Because once the game comes out full retail, it'll probably be too late. There will probably be all kinds of information out there online, and you're going to miss out on this time where no one knows what's actually truly in the game. Like I said, the next playtest is on December 9th. It's going to run for a whole weekend, so ideally we get a whole weekend to explore the world and learn more about its secrets together. So if you want to check that out with me, head over to monstersandmemories.com, get signed up there, download the launcher, keep your launcher up to date. They're doing a lot of patches. And then watch the Discord in case there's any other surprise playtests. And even if they don't run one, you're going to have a nice weekend-long playtest to go for on December 9th. If you've made it this far, thank you for watching. This is the MMocracy. Stay classic.